So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys what it's like to kind of have your own like astral domain and literally like invite beings into your astral domain, whether it's like ETs, ascended masters, higher god beings, or you want to invite like some ancestors or like some earthly beings or like some fae, whatever kind of beings you want, This is really lit. Now, real quick, if you don't know me, yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment for Coaching. My links are down below. I also have an Astral Mastery course down below that teaches you how to master lucid dreaming and also leaving your body and stuff like that. I talk about the difference between both and how to properly understand them, how to work out your etheric body, your astral body, different techniques, different lessons you need to know and stuff like that. I also teach you how to build your own technique, but I also give my technique too. And there's actually a coupon code in the Discord that hasn't been used yet. So if you go to my Discord, there's a coupon inside there that hasn't been used yet. And I'll also put a coupon that I put from last video that hasn't been used yet either. So there's a coupon in the description box down below too. Now, with that being said, right, when it comes to the astral plane, right, we experience the astral plane through our imagination, right? Our imagination is a faculty of our mind, which is pretty much able to turn images. It's able to turn information into images, right? So like you could think about a dog, right? But you can also see what that thought looks like. That's because your imagination turns that information into an image. You see? The astral body is heavily pretty much just your imagination. Like your soul is also like your consciousness is also within like your consciousness is using your imagination as a vehicle in order to experience the astral plane. Because what's happening is you're pretty much projecting that part of your mind that's able to form images. You're projecting that outside of yourself when you astral project. Or you're just going inside of that, right? That's what a dream is. A dream is just literally entering your own astral domain. You're just entering into your imagination. And inside of this state, your imagination is more spaced out and scattered. When you leave the body though, you actually form it into a body, But that's why you could change how your form looks, because it's really just your imagination, So when it comes to inviting beings into your dreams and your astral domain, right, you must first gain mastery over your astral domain, which is your astral body and your imagination. You see, when your imagination is formed as a vehicle, it's called the astral body. But when the soul is not using the imagination as a vehicle, it's just called the imagination, right? And this is where your dreams take place at. And most of the time, the information that's appearing as images within inside your imagination is pretty much just going to be based upon whatever information you're holding inside your subconscious mind, right? It's also going to be like a manifestation of like your karmas. Your karmas are like your past thoughts, emotions, actions. That's all going to typically manifest. But with more consciousness, you begin to actually become more lucid of what's manifesting and why it's manifesting. And you can also begin to invite beings to pull up on you that will actually be able to interact with you and teach you different things inside of your own imagination. And the more lucid you become, you can literally still be inside your imagination, but see the true form of what these beings look like. At first, they're probably going to come inside of forms which are more agreeable to you, forms that wouldn't spook you as much, But as you get more lucidity and you start being more open to seeing beyond the illusion, you'll start seeing what's actually there. And then if you want, you can have those beings take you out of body and visit their world, right? Wherever the heck they exist at, So this is something that I do pretty often, especially because, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I be wanting to like learn a lot of stuff, and there'd be so many different beings I could talk to. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm gonna leave my body and go to all these different places at once, bro. So instead, I'll just invite them to pull up. Like last night, right? Before going to sleep, I was doing something that happens pretty often, which is as I begin to fall asleep, my mind can become very open to other intelligences which want to speak to me, especially for I'd say like the past maybe like 3 to 5 days. I've really been like my connection with other beings has been super duper clear. I've been fasting for 11 days now. You know, I've been making a series called Spiritual Immortality on my YouTube. If you want to see that, go check it out. I have a whole playlist for it. I document my journey, what I'm learning and stuff like that. And since I haven't been eating food, my vessel's kind of just been very clear. It's been really easy to communicate with other beings. And I've been in constant communication with certain beings, mainly the Inataka, and the Ashkenadi, and also these dragons from a continent called Arganessen, which is in Eberron, which Eberron is in a galaxy called Xylanthia, and Xylanthia is the Sextans A galaxy. Anyway, with all that being said, I've been in constant contact with these beings. So because of that, whenever my mind's pretty open and they see I'm open to talk and they know I'm going to be receptive to it, they kind of just come to talk. And as I'm falling asleep, that's a great time to do it. Now, sometimes when I be like ready to fall asleep, I'll be like on like some OD tired stuff. But last night, I wasn't really that tired, but I'm just like, I kind of wanted to just enter into the astral. Or I realized just I want to get some rest real quick and then go to the astral. I feel like it was just a good time to do that. You feel me? So and it's crazy because as I'm sleeping next to my girl, right? And as I'm drifting off, it's like we're still talking and stuff, and there's like this weird bleeding effect, which there's a certain name for the Ashkenazi have, which I'm still trying to understand, because they have certain names for like the domain. They call it like your Erie, right? And then area 9 is when you begin to like, that's when like with inside your domain, your soul's wisdom is beginning to express itself, and it can also project inside the outside world. It's like a domain expansion from Jujutsu Kaisen, or Jujutsu Kaisen, if you guys know about that show, right? They could pretty much expand their mind outside them. Now, the bleeding effect is not the same as that. The bleeding effect is more when the external world starts to bleed into your mind. So it'd be kind of like this. Imagine like you're going to sleep, and then like your mind, and then like you're still fully conscious as like your mind is like forming a dream or whatnot. But as it's happening, it's kind of just like, imagine like first, like my eyes are closed, I'm seeing black. Imagine that I gradually kind of just like I got it. All this shit I may be seeing inside my mind, right? It's starting to also manifest outside me. It's like I could see my room, but my imagination is manifesting over my room. And it was kind of like this because while my girl's talking to me, it's kind of keeping me like inside this reality, and I was letting her do it because like I was open to talking. You feel me? Whenever I want to really go to sleep, I would have just said, "Hey, be quiet." But like, I want to talk to her, right? But I'm doing this as a like, it's like I'll be in periods of like meditation, and then I'm kind of just talking to different beings. But then I start falling asleep, and my mind starts forming like a dream. Like one of them was dealing with the cats that live in my backyard. I got cats that live inside my backyard. We be taking care of them and stuff like that. They getting pretty comfortable. It's pretty lit. But it was like just like a random dream John forming with the cats, right? And then my girl started talking to me. And as she's doing that, it's like I couldn't tell if my eyes were really open or closed because like it's like I would see the cats that I'm seeing like in my head, they were in my backyard, but they would start to like be like in my room. It was really weird. Like, it's like my mind was bleeding. I couldn't tell which was which. I couldn't tell if my mind was bleeding into my physical reality or my physical reality was bleeding into my mind. I think it's the other way around, though. I don't think it's because, like, I'm sure I think my eyes were still closed when I was like, but it's like, because she's talking, it's kind of like I'm seeing outside my eyelids. It's kind of what it feels like. And as I'm seeing outside my eyelids, I have the cats forming in my room around me and stuff like that. And that's very important when it comes to what I'm about to say later on inside this video, right? Because I'm noticing my mind has this bleeding effect where my inner world and my outer world are having this seemingly unique harmony. And you can't really tell which is inner or out because there really is no inner or outer. That's really what it is. And that's the state that I'm trying to find the name for it, but it's that bleeding effect where both worlds bleed together. You feel me? both roads bleed together, and now your inner world is your outer world, and your outer world is your inner world. But it's not the same as domain expansion, because in domain expansion, you're just putting your outer world inside the inner world, and you're still aware of that, and you're still aware of the fact that there is a outer world. You're just putting your inner world inside your outer world with a domain expansion, or like with the area not. But with this other thing, they just have a complete harmony, and you don't know which is which because they're always just one. Anyway, that was kind of happening. Now, because of that, right? I noticed when I was going to like these. I noticed when I was going into these more dreamlike states, and then I become more conscious. And then because I'm more conscious, there's more beings talking to me. Like at first, it was I think it was the Inataka at first. Yeah, it was at first I laid down. Inataka pulled up with me and stuff, but they tell me a few things. I kind of forgot a lot about what they told me to be. No, I do remember actually. They were telling me a lot about my relationship and stuff like that, and what we're becoming and the importance of that. Because it literally, bro, I ended up asking her a funny question because the Inataka are god beings, right? And I asked my girl, I'm like, do you want to be an animal or a goddess? She's like, what? I'm like, you want to be an animal or a goddess? She said a goddess, you know? But like, it was just the reason I asked her that. I don't know. I was just having a crazy conversation about how, because like relationships, bro, could really help you access your divinity and your divine God nature and stuff like that. Because the unification between a man and a woman is also like a unification between like spirit and divine. I mean, with spirit and matter, and with the physical and the divine. You know, like real talk. Like I wish I could explain that more, but that's gonna be at the whole separate. It's gonna be a whole separate video about like divine love or something. That was a really big lesson they were giving me about last night. But then after that, I felt the Altorians come by, and I'm like, here we go. Okay, I see what kind of night this is. And the Altorians came by, and they were teaching me about analyzing. They were teaching me about analyzing reality, analyzing my mind more, my inner state more, and my outside reality more, and seeing how the two line up. And this is before the cat. Dang, that's crazy. My fault. I'm peeping stuff as I'm talking about this, bro. My fault, yo. Because this was so fresh. Because I do this pretty often, but the way it was last night, like the connection with the beings was too clear, bro. Like I could feel them really intensely, and then at some point I clearly feel them inside my room. Then when I fully went to sleep at nighttime, like I was like in my crib, like with the beings though. It was really lit. But I'm gonna get to that later on inside the video and stuff like that. Right now I'm kind of talking about the beginning part of it. You feel me? But yeah, the Artorians came. They were telling me to notice how my outer world, how my outer world reflects my inner world, and that if I analyze my life and I don't, one thing that holds us back, bro, is thinking that the things that are happening, quote unquote, shouldn't be happening. Instead of just realizing why things happen. Fuck how you feel about it, bro. Fuck how you feel about it and all that other shit. Just understand why it's happening and how it's a symbolic representation of something inside of you. That's the biggest thing you need to understand. That's the biggest thing you need to understand. And that's what they were telling me. Because I've been already doing that more. So like they were like telling me how to do that better. And like they're making it even like with the small things in life. You feel me? Like it's crazy. Like even right now, I'm seeing a pencil and a notepad on this table in front of me, right? And I'm seeing a candle and these two candles, and that's really important. This is like this, and there's a freaking plant here now that my freaking mom is growing that just Sunwill, and it says Sunwill. What the heck? Okay, look, I'm saying this because the space I'm in right now is a very good space for like just connecting with my spirit, getting ideas. The candle, flame, symbol of the spirit, symbol of your spirit and stuff like that. The notepad with the pencil, symbol of writing ideas down and stuff like that. The plant, nature, Sunwill, the sun will come inside the divine. The fire, my spirit will come inside and light me up and stuff like that. Like I could see all this shit as a fucking dream. Even this fucking carpet has the carpet below. Like my mom just put this carpet here, nigga. This carpet has a fucking crazy geometric fucking pattern on this shit. Look, it looked divine as fuck, my nigga. Like I'm really just in the fucking seashells that my fucking girl put here. Like, how the fuck did this space even become like this, my nigga? This shit crazy as fuck. But you see my point though. Like, I could see what this space represents inside of me and what part of me this space brings out, and it's perfect, actually. You know. Anyway, with that being said, right? That's what the Altorians were teaching me, right? At this point, this might have been when some of the dream stuff was happening. I don't know if that was before or after I started talking directly to my higher self. My higher self was talking to me, but it's like it was me. Like it's like your 7D eternal spirit reaching down and talking to you, right? That was really interesting. That one was really because like since it like even though like technically no being is separate from you, like your spirit literally is you. Like the Arcturians aren't you. Like unless like you consider the fact that we're all God and whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But like you get my point though. Your spirit's literally more you, and that was really interesting. And like it was teaching me just a lot about how to embody it more, and it was really expressing the way that it thinks and feels and perceives life. And it was talking a lot about like free will too. I already talked. I made a video about free will yesterday, but the way it was teaching me about it now was just way more like deep and stuff like that. You feel me? Like it was really lit. So with all that being said, right? Yeah, at some point the dream stuff started happening, and then I remember the dream stuff definitely happened before I had the Ashkenadi pulled up. Those were the last beings that pulled up. Yeah, I remember completely now. I remember I was doing that whole entire drifting off stuff, and like the whole bleeding effect was happening. And the Ashkenadi are the ones that kind of have that term for the whole bleeding effect. You feel me? I've been connected with the Ashkenadi a lot. They're the ones that told me about dreamwalking. Also, I put that on my Patreon link down below, and I'm gonna also talk more about your domain and stuff like that. What your domain actually is. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow on my Patreon also. So look out for that video. Ashkenadi ET Enlightenment. But when it comes to when they pulled up, remember I was like laying on my girl and stuff like that, about to lay back over, and they kind of just pulled up and they were like, they were bringing my awareness to how unaware I was becoming. And they were like, you don't even notice and once they say you don't even notice that, I was literally seeing the snake in my room and stuff like that. And like I said, like at this point, my eyes are pretty much closed, but it's like I'm literally seeing my room, and like I'm seeing the snake at my door and stuff like that, with my door being open. But my room also looked a little bit different though. Like it's like my door that's normally over on this side was like in the middle, and it was way bigger, and the snake was big as hell coming through my door and shit like that. And then it was teaching me how to use the power of the snake to kind of maintain a certain level of awareness. It's like with the way that snakes are, it's like they kind of like, there's this intuitive sense they have with the pineal gland. It's like the way that they move is off just like how the frequency is like telling their shit to move, and they could like they could sense what frequency is what through their pineal gland and stuff like that, right? It's kind of what they were explaining to me. And it's like as I'm drifting off to sleep, it's like I should always still have that awareness to pick up on whatever frequencies are trying to get my attention, kind of a thing, you know? And then they were also teaching me about like I didn't fully understand. This is more just like they were teaching me it kind of just through showing me things, which dealt with like the movement of energy inside my body, kind of like a snake. But there's also this thing called like the fluttering effect, like when your energies begin like there's this fluttering effect with your energies, which lead to a whole different, amazing, beautiful state. But that's a separate video also. But anyway, they're teaching me about that, but I didn't fully understand the fluttering stuff until this morning. Anyway, at some point I drifted off to sleep. And then when I drifted off to sleep, I made sure that I was going to like just try to just get rest. So when I woke up, I didn't remember anything at all. I don't think I experienced anything at all, because I really just wanted to get rest and just go back to source, right? But then it was time to go. So I went, and I could still feel like the different beings in my room. Like, because I used the bathroom at some point, but as I was walking inside my house, it felt like there was beings inside of my room. You feel me? And keep in mind, in my room, I do have like several portals. I have a lot of portals in my room. Now, you don't need portals for beings to come through, especially higher vibrational ones. They could literally just come through if they want to. And if you literally call upon these beings, they literally can just come inside your room. Like the way that you would go about doing this is simply just inviting the beings inside you. Because with me, they were kind of just pulling up. You feel me? I ain't gonna cap. But there was a point where I felt like, yo, yeah. This was right before I fell asleep. Yeah, my fault. I know I didn't organize this video, bro. You're going to just fucking deal with it, my nigga. But like the video though, if you fuck with this type of content, you know what I'm saying? Dab. But now a lot of birds just flew down. They fuck with it. Anyway, yeah, another bird. There's a lot of birds. God dang. Anyway, when it comes to what I did last night, god dang, where are all these birds coming from? My fault, bro. I gotta just now pay attention to that. Or when I do, I'm gonna just notice it inside my brain. Like another one. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me pause this shit. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a flood of birds, and there was. Once I paused the video, about a flood of birds that came down. I saw a lot of birds outside. That was really random. My bad. But anyway, that's kind of how it felt though when I last night, like I said, after the Oscar night was talking to me and stuff like that, and I was about to fall asleep. There's more birds coming, bro. What the heck? Yo, there's like 5 that just came down. Bro, there's about 25, 30 birds outside my crib right now, bro. This is ridiculous. And now another one just walked over from out of nowhere. Like, what the heck is going on right now? My point, though. So, like I was saying, right? I invited, well, more like, I was thinking about where I wanted to astral project to, because I'm like, okay, I'm about to go to sleep. Where do I kind of want to get ready to go when I wake up from this rest period, right? And I couldn't think about, I'm like, yo, I'm talking to all these different, I don't know where to go. I'm talking to all these different beings, bro. I'm like, okay, how about I just take on a certain form and then I invite beings to my space to kind of just teach me what they want to teach me, and they could take me wherever the freak they want to take me. So what I did was I went inside my Akuna Wakuzi form, and I felt like I had to, because I don't know, I just felt like I should be more in that energy. I mean, I was talking to the Ashkenadi. When I was an Ashkenadi, I became a Akuna Wakuzi. You feel me? But I just felt like going inside my Ashkenadi Akuna Wakuzi form, which is also like a black lion. It's a mix of a black lion snake and a human. You feel me? But yeah, because like I feel like I had to bring out that energy, and I wanted to be in that energy. And I felt like while being in that energy, I had to learn more about being in that energy and stuff like that and what it entails for me, which I really did. When I went out of body, well, I didn't go out of body. What happened was when I fell asleep, well, actually, I don't really know. I'm pretty sure I was still inside my own astral domain. Even if I was out of body, I was still, my astral domain was still manifested around me. Because like, this can happen too. This is why, like, when you leave your body and stuff like that, you could really be out of your body, but depending on how strong your imagination is, sometimes you can bleed through certain experiences into the astral plane. And at this, you can bleed through your imagination while you're in the astral plane outside your body. And as you do this, you start to fall into more dream states. Because at some point, it's like you manifest the field all around you. Then you kind of succumb to the field, and then you kind of like revert back to like being inside your body, inside your own imagination and stuff like that. So I could have been out of body at some point, but I know for a fact that my astral domain was manifesting all around me. And that it's like wherever I would like go in the external environment, it would form into like a new environment, especially like a lot of like different houses, because there's different things happening in different cribs. And there was like every single crib was like a different being and stuff like that. And the more conscious I became inside that crib, I could actually see the true form and stuff. But anyway, there was a lot of dragon lessons at Ashkenadi, a lot of Inataka dragon and Ashkenadi lessons last night. You feel me? And the Ashkenadi, by the way, are connected to the Inataka. It's like the Inataka would kind of be their gods, essentially. You feel me? But like they're actually gods, not like symbolic images like how the Egyptians or like the Hindus did it. You feel me? But when it comes to me, yeah, I was like, yo, I don't know who the fuck I saw. The beings I invited for a fact was the Inataka and the Ashkenadi. I kind of just left it at that, and I was going to let what other beings want to pop through, kind of just pop through. And like I said, when I woke up after like the gaining rest period and I used the bathroom, I could feel the Ashkenadi all around my house, you know? Then like as I was going to sleep, I kind of just saw them inside my house. And like there was places like where I would like be inside this room. At one point, they were teaching me how to manipulate and control fire more, you know? And they were like in this room, and it's weird because like they were talking to me and I could hear them, but I didn't see anybody. Like when I'm looking back on the dream, bro, I didn't see no people inside my dream, bro. But I was literally being taught shit in my mind, looking at and it's like, it was really dark inside of here, you feel me? But like, it was really dark, but also bright. Like I could see everything clearly. but it was like it's kind of like I had night vision, and my night vision was as clear as day. Like it wasn't like no gray or green bullshit. It was like really clear night vision, and like I was being told how to manipulate fire, and I was actually doing it, and it was working and stuff like that. I didn't actually see any beings around me, but they were just talking to me inside my dream and shit. You feel me? And there's several different things that happened too. Like at some point, a couple of my friends pulled up to my crib and stuff like that. Like actually like their astral forms and stuff. I was also interacting with people from my Discord and stuff like that. From the Discord that I'm inside of and everything. Like there was like a meeting. The niggas started holding a meeting because I was also while I was inside here also. Because I forgot that I also did invite the Egyptians too. Because I wanted to go to Egypt because I've been studying certain Egyptian shit again to like put out on my YouTube and on my Patreon. But I'm like, bro, like I'm not about to go to all these places. So I'm like, yo, if the Egyptians like have the Egyptians pull up also, you feel me? And I remember like last night in this back room, when I was planning out the Egyptian content, right? And I was learning different things that I was learning different things, or just understanding things that I already knew, but on a deeper level, right? I was studying that shit. And I was putting that into a PowerPoint and stuff like that. And then I had this really dark black man. He was pretty much an Egyptian. You feel me? I had this really dark black man who was instructing me that the way I was going to put it out on YouTube is not how I should do it, and I should do it in a different way. I'm not going to say what ways were what. You just want to see when it comes out. But just know that I had a plan on putting out the Egyptian content on my YouTube a certain type of way. And they were like, no, don't do it like that. Do it like this, you know? And when I woke up, I was still kind of unsure. But as I meditated later on and stuff like that, it became very clear how I got to do it. And it's going to be so amazing how I do it too. And it's really smart how it's going to happen as well. So, be on the lookout for that Egyptian content. There's gonna be stuff on YouTube, stuff on Patreon, and also there's gonna be a course inside my Gina Down Academy, which is on my PayHip and stuff like that. The same place where my Astral projection course is at. The people inside Patreon are gonna get a discount when I drop that Committed to Your Life course. You feel me? But yeah, bro. If you want to invite beings inside of your space, all you really gotta do is simply just call upon them. And just be open and be aware of like what images pop up inside of your mind and like what thoughts pop up inside of your mind, but not that dream shit. Because there was times when like when the Altorians popped up, I kept on seeing a lot of blue. You feel me? Obviously because they're blue, but like yeah, it was like a lot of like blue. It was just like kept on rising up randomly. You feel me? When I was talking to the Inataka and stuff like that, there would be like random strikes of like color, then I might see their form randomly one time. Like it was really interesting because like a lot of the times the Inataka, they'll be like all black, but like they'll have like a certain like color energy like going throughout their skin and shit. And like it's like I was seeing like it's like as if like someone did this with their hand, and I'm seeing like the strike of the colors there. And then like as they're talking, they might open their eyes and like I see their face and like the color of their face and shit. You feel me? It was really interesting. It wasn't really creepy, but now I look back on it, that is a little bit intimidating, you know? But anyway, yeah, invite them into your space to kind of just see how your mind reacts. Like, I'm gonna talk more about like your domain on my Patreon, which will help you to connect with your domain more than actually be able to like see these beings more and stuff like that. But if you just call upon them, bro, and then you go to sleep and you're like relatively conscious as you're falling to sleep, bro, you'll recognize that you may have dreams where like you're just like around your house and you're interacting with different people or even different beings. Like you may actually see the true form. But if you don't see the true form, it's cool. Because like with me, like I said, like when I was being talking about the fire, it was a lot of Ashkenazi and Inataka energy there. You feel me? I had the Egyptian though tell me about what to do with my PowerPoint and stuff like that. And then at some point, after I was told about what to do with the PowerPoint, I was pretty much sharing that with the Discord. Like there was like a meeting where Cash was sharing some plans coming up and stuff like that, and then I would share some plans coming up and stuff like that, and it was just fucking lit. But and then like yeah, I was going to different people's critics. Like I had to learn certain lessons about. I don't even know. I think this came from like this one. I don't even know where the fuck this came from. But there was a certain lesson I learned about love. It might have been the Inataka, but I don't know. I don't know, bro. It was really interesting though. That was really interesting. And there's some more stuff that I kind of forgot by now. I'm not gonna cap, but I took the stuff I really cared about with me. You feel me? So Yeah. But I'm gonna end the video right there. You know, if you want to do this, just invite the beings to your space and you literally just fall asleep. It's literally that simple. If you want to have portals open, you can use your mirror as a portal for them. Just open up your portal. I'm gonna open up, like, in your mind, state that your mirror is a portal. And then just like invite the beings to use your mirror as a portal. You feel me? That would be a good technique, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna end the video right here, bro. If you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe if you're doing stuff like that. I have more wisdom on my Patreon. I have the course down below. Don't forget, it's gonna be a coupon down there. It's also a coupon inside the Discord and stuff like that to get that astral projection course. I teach you how to master the astral plane, lucid dreaming, OBEs, develop your astral body, all that. I'm gonna end this video. I love you. I catch you.